right, let's get down to business. Just saw the Resident Evil showcase, the second part, and honestly, like, I think I've talked about this before. If you're giving us something, usually it helps us, it gives us substance. There was really no substance to the showcase. People were building it up like, oh my gosh. Like, it was just a bunch of rich people, executive producers, people talking about, oh, I'm so happy. Congratulations. We made all this money. Congratulations. Like, okay. They're like, oh, if it wasn't for the fans. Okay, so listen to the fans. Let me talk about what I didn't like and what I liked and stuff about the showcase before I get down to what this video is really about. So the first thing is, so it's confirmed, like, we've been known that this is a whole family shenanigans hurrah with vampires and werewolves, not zombies, but vampires and werewolves. We might as well just bring in the mummies, like, bring in everybody, like Monster Mash. You did the mash. It was a monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. Like, we might as well be doing that. Like, what is this? But whatever. Like, honestly, I'm just whatever. Like, I'm gonna see what's going on, but I just don't see Resident Evil and, like, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Like, I don't see no vampires and werewolves. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is not Resident Evil. Oh, this is the direction it's taking. Then why are you remaking things? Then why are you remaking the past? So we can see how good the past was and see the future's crap? I already knew Chris was going to die, or I already knew that I have a hypothesis that Chris is going to die. First of all, you don't put someone's face next to something unless they're either going to die by it or they become it. So, honestly, if you look on the cover of RE Village, you see that Chris's face is juxtaposed to a wolf's face. He's either going to become that wolf or he's going to be killed by that wolf, and it's going to be Ethan's job to avenge him. Now, so far we see that Chris seems to be the bad guy of this game, especially since he's working with Umbrella now. Umbrella looks like it's rebranded. It doesn't matter how many times someone quote-unquote rebrands, they're still the same underneath. Supposedly, Chris also killed Mia, which thank goodness, freaking thank goodness, she's a killer. She was horrible the whole game. I really don't understand why it's canon that you have to save her. There really is no reason for you to be saving her. She didn't do nothing for you, but Zoe did help you throughout the entire game, and you save her and it's worthless. She dies anyway. So, she turns into a chrysalis. Like, y'all, again, with this downloadable content, the daughters thing and all that, if it's supposed to be canon, it should not be downloadable content. If it has to do with things that take place during the game, it shouldn't be downloadable content. It should be the game itself. It shouldn't be add-ons. Like, this isn't Skyrim where you can add Hearthfire and stuff and it makes sense after the fact, after you've done everything. Stop doing that. Stop giving us what you should have put in the game already as downloadable content. To that Baker dude, the uncle who saved Zoe, it's just like, I don't know, man. But whatever. Why do the enemies look alive? Like I said in one of my videos about Resident Evil, I'll have the actual playlist in the description. Why do the enemies look alive? This is a zombie franchise, not a everyone's alive and is conscious of what they're doing franchise. That's why I want you guys to go back to Resident Evil Code Veronica, because Code Veronica was equal amount zombies and people in their right mind. But now we just have people and we're literally just killing people. It's one thing to kill a zombie. It's another thing to kill someone who's alive that can scream that, oh, I'm dying. Like, we're literally just murderers at this point. These people are not dead. They have a consciousness. Why are we fighting people in different countries? Might I add, we were in America or wherever. I'm pretty sure Raccoon City was in America. We weren't killing people. We were killing zombies. Their soul was gone. It was just hunks of flesh, and the brain was functioning because of the spark that the T virus did and whatnot. We are literally killing humans right now. Just saying. And another thing, I didn't like the fact that there were health bars. What on earth? Are you serious? Maybe it could be taken away, but we've never had health bars. We've had health bars sometimes for bosses, but I saw gameplay and the just regular. And another thing, I see that y'all are just copying and pasting what people look like again. I saw a bunch of the exact same zombies, or whatever you want to call these things, the exact same enemies, just copied and pasted. For all this money you're throwing at this game, you sure are being lazy. Okay, you're being lazy. What I liked about this game is at least they're bringing back mercenaries. I was fine with mercenaries in 5. I think mercenaries was the only saving grace in 5, along with Sheva Alomar being included in the canon now, despite you never ever talking about her again. Like, oh, you just stay in Africa, little girl. Like, you literally just said that to her. Like, we have yet to see her, just like we have yet to see Rebecca Chambers for a very long time. She at least got a movie. Rebecca Chambers appears at least 3 times in the whole entire history of Resident Evil. But Sheva only appears in 1 game in Africa. Like, is she supposed to stay there? Can she not get on a plane? Can she not isn't her experience with Ouroboros important to somebody? Whatever. You're never gonna see, we're on Ethan now, and these Anglo-Saxons, Mia, and now we got the baby too. We're on these Anglo-Saxons. Can't go back to Sheva. It was just disappointing. There was nothing really added. There was no substance to this showcase. Nothing that they told me I didn't already know. One thing that I did see was Resident Evil 4, I was told was going to be remade. It doesn't look like it's going to be remade. It looks like it's remastered for VR, and that's fine. It looks disgusting, putrid. I'm not getting it. I would only do VR like at somebody's house. I'm not going to get it for my own house. I'd much rather just play a game and not have to be like, oh, it's so real. Like, oh, I don't need that much immersion to be happy in a game. I don't need it. So they can keep it. Resident Evil 4 was the beginning of the end, one of the worst games. I really don't know why you're even looking at it. And I notice in Village, you get to talk to this Duke that's fat and buy things from him. It's like, you might as well have brought back, what are you buying? Why didn't you bring him back? Why didn't you bring him back? I would have rather seen him than this fat lard sitting on his bed with a bunch of these things. Like, hopefully it's just the way they spliced it. It looked like it was just a part of Mercenaries. However, I do believe that this dude, you're going to still have to buy stuff from him in game, which I hate. I hate that so much. I kind of hated the fact that that dude was there, but I like the fact that if you killed him, he wasn't there anymore. It just takes away from the immersion. Resident Evil 4 really is when the immersion, like you could actually be in that situation, the fearfulness went away, because it's just like, well, this lard is sitting there fine. You got to come up with a reason why he's fine and no one's attacking him. Because in Resident Evil 4, you made that guy, the merchant, he was infected. His eyes were glowing. He was infected. That's why. And that took 2 seconds to do. I don't really see this guy being infected. Hopefully you give him a backstory enough for me to be like, okay, I guess you can be on this bed and nobody mess with you, even though you looking scrumptious. You look like a whole cake over there. I don't know why zombies aren't trying to eat you, but again, I don't even think we're getting zombies. We're just getting people that can breathe and speak and talk, and we're just murderers. You are making a murderous game, and I don't know how to feel about that. It just seems so strange to me. Why does it have to be people that have consciousness, and why do we have to go to a different country for that? I know it's like Anglo-Saxons in another place, but still, y'all have been doing this. Y'all, every time you want people to be in their right mind, you go somewhere else for it. We went to the Village in 4 in a different country, and we were somewhere in Spain, and there were people, the villagers were living and existing. In Code Veronica, the zombies are coming out of the ground. They were dead. In Resident Evil 3, people were dead. Resident Evil 2, everyone was dead. You didn't kill people. The closest thing that had any sort of consciousness were the controlled, programmed BOWs. They were programmed. Madame Dremiscu, whatever that girl's name is, she's talking, she's breathing, has her own, like, and one character can be like that. One character in every single Resident Evil was like that, you know? You have your BOW that's controlled and is just a mindless zombie, talk about stars. And then you've got the other one who actually is in their right mind behind the scenes. It's always been like that. It's just a formula that you guys really are kind of dropping the ball on. I still have not that high of hopes for this game. Y'all are really going to make or break this. Y'all are celebrating and excited about 25 years. Just hope that it doesn't stay at 25 years. Because this game may look good and you're going to get some of the loser scrubs who just play shooter games. They're going to like this game. They're going to like it, and that's fine. This isn't the game that you're going to set your bargains on. You are going to have to bring us, you're going to have to keep us here, the people, the backbone that's actually keeping your franchise afloat, the fans, with Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, not remaster, not rehash, not / remake, meaning you completely make the game over again on a different engine with different designs, different graphics, same story. I'm not asking for remastered, okay? I don't want those disgusting angles. Those angles literally can die because you already killed those angles. The first remake y'all did was basically a remaster. The second remake y'all did was a literal remake. Different stories happened. Different things happened. There was a different script. 3, y'all were dropping the ball playing games because you're trying to set up for Resident Evil 4 remake. And supposedly you're just remastering it. I still believe you guys are going to try to make Leon, because Infinite Darkness was another thing that y'all talked about. You're trying to make it to where people like Leon, when it's just like people already like Leon. He's some Anglo-Saxon dude. He's like strong. He's kind of like an Iron Man type. There's nothing, you don't really need to make him likable. There's so many other things y'all could be doing. Y'all could be remaking 0. When are y'all going to remake 0? Y'all kind of just skipped over 0. You skipped over Code Veronica and you're just going to 4. Who said they wanted to play VR and be in Resident Evil 4? Who said that? What tally system did you use to go and search all the fandom and see who wanted something? You didn't ask us. You're just putting some random crap out. No one wanted it. I was looking at the chat live and where people were like, what is this? Why are we getting this? No one asked for Resident Evil 4. It's the beginning of the end. Just like if I saw you trying to remake Resident Evil 5, what are you doing? It's not time for that. It's not time to remake Resident Evil 5. And when you do remake Resident Evil 5, you better not kill your bread and butter, Albert Wesker, again. He is your bread and butter. Just saying. He is your bread and butter. I don't know. I'm appalled at this point. I didn't get anything of substance, like I said, from the showcase. Infinite Darkness just looks like they're going to be fighting zombies in the dark. I don't like the voice acting, but we'll see how it works. I really don't. I don't think that's Alyson Court. I don't think that's Mercer. Or Mercy, or whatever that dude's name that plays Leon really well. I don't think it's either one of them. I think they just got some random Anglo-Saxons once again. They don't have to have any criteria. They don't have to sound anything like the characters. They just, I'm a different character entirely. Like, okay, honestly. And then they're talking about, PlayStation 4 and 5. I just want to get away from Xbox because we don't get nothing. PlayStation 4 and 5 always get things and special treatment and early access, and we get nothing. We just get $60 taken out of our account every year for live. That's it. We don't get any exclusive games. We don't get any early access to anything. We're just scrubs. And I really hate the fact that Resident Evil 4 is like on VR. It's like, really, who asked for it? No one, literally no one asked for it. You could literally like pick a random person and ask them and they say no. But I'm pretty much done talking about the showcase because it was, like I said, it didn't really have any substance. It was literally like them just sucking each other off about, oh, congratulations on 25 years. I think they're just like, well, thank goodness that people are still looking at us, because Resident Evil 7 to me was not a good Resident Evil game. It was a good game. It was a good game. It should have been called anything else. If it was called Bioorganization Weapon, Bioweapon something, Bio something, it would have been better. This is not a good Resident Evil game. Like, how many times do I have to tell you? You have to have a BOW that chases the character, which was Jack, that they were like they half-a did it. They didn't do well with that. He doesn't really, and also there's no backtracking, and the puzzles were a joke. Those shadow puzzles, are you kidding me? That's not considered a puzzle. You had better puzzles in the DLC. Whatever. Y'all, like I said a long time ago, like, play the games that you're trying to continue. And I'm kind of shocked that y'all are like continuing the order of the games, like Village and all that, but you're still going back and remaking them at the exact same time. That's super strange to me. Super duper strange. Y'all should have picked one or the other. Like, why are we sitting here gonna see Chris die, and then, oh, Chris is back in Resident Evil Code Veronica? No one wants to see that. Because once we see Chris die, because I know he's gonna die in this, like, I'm willing to make a bet. Go in the comments, like, we can make a pot right now. Chris is gonna die in this game. He's served his purpose. He was supposed to, like, take the big bad out, Wesker. He has no other purpose to serve. They're making him the bad guy. You either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself to be the bad guy. He's either going to be the final boss or he's going to fight the final boss and die. There's no saving Chris for this right now. Even though Chris and Claire barely get any screen time together this whole entire time. You only see them in a scene once together in Code Veronica, and y'all are trying to skip over it. I don't even know. Y'all crazy. Let me get to what this video is actually supposed to be about. 25 do's and don'ts of Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Okay? Let's get started. Number 1. Do make it before Resident Evil 4 remake, because duh. Because do it. Because we're not asking for 4. Because 4 looks more updated than the rest of them. The reason why you're remaking 1, 2, and 3 is because you know it looks like Bubkiss. You know it looks like garbage. You know it looks like pixels. You know it looks worse than Minecraft. So doing Resident Evil 4 under any circumstance, whether it be VR or otherwise, makes no sense, because we can still play it on PC and it holds up today. The reason why you remake things is so that you don't have to sit there and look at garbage pixels and no frames. This is 2021. Don't bait Steve Burnside for other games. He has to die in this game. No Matt to Nemesis program BS, okay? No taking his body, like his body was taken in Darkside Chronicles. It was not hinted or implied at in the original Code Veronica that his body was taken. However, in Darkside Chronicles, which people act like never existed, because y'all didn't really care about it at the time. But his body is taken by Wesker last time. So yeah, you guys can do that, but I really don't want him to be a bother for Claire. Claire, like, should be able to exist without having to deal with Steve Burnside ever again. And BOW or not. Maybe Burnside could be the failed test subject for the first time, and then Jill Valentine's like the good one. But, you know, I have a better imagination than anyone that works for you. Okay, number 3. Do watch a walkthrough before even making a single bit crystal. Honestly, like, just watch a walkthrough. If you are so lazy, if you don't have enough time in your day because you're so rich, why don't you go get an intern so you don't even have to pay them. Let them tell you while you sleeping, taking little naps in your Tesla while it's driving. Like, listen to someone talk about the actual story. Because how come y'all are straight up making games that you don't know the story to? You guys don't know the story. You didn't know the story of Resident Evil 3 because half of the game is missing. And then you made Nemesis look disgusting. When I saw he looked like a Cenobite, I was like, oh my gosh. Y'all are just going to make him a mass pile of flesh and teeth. And that's what y'all did. Y'all made him a big, massive pile of flesh and teeth. And then you're going to have the audacity to give Carlos Jill's line. If it wasn't already bad enough that people see the pseudo-feminism of her character in this game, y'all are going to take away, one of her best moments. And then her lockpick. She's known for lockpicking. How come she doesn't have a lockpick? Y'all strange. It's like you didn't even play the games. It's like you don't know what you're doing. It's like you just want money. And if you want money, earn it. Earn it. 4, don't be weird. No more than what the original gave us, an incest bait between Alexia and Alfred. There were a lot of moments when it came to that, and I just don't want to see much of it, honestly. I'm not here for that. Just maybe the standard scenes that we got. Don't make it spicy. Don't imply anything else. We don't need that. 5, don't remove the cross-dressing scene. I don't call it drag because it's not my place to call it drag. I don't think it was drag. It wasn't. It was just what happened. I don't know if the reason why you guys aren't doing Code Veronica right now is because you're trying to figure out a way to maneuver in this now time when I don't even think it's an issue. I don't think it's an issue. And honestly, like I said, worst comes to worst, you take it out. Still make Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, okay? Still make it. Hello, stop going over it. It exists. It's Claire's game. It's the only time we get to see Claire and Chris actually interact with each other. 6, do allow Chris and Claire to be in the same party at some point in the game because they never get to, like I said, literally from 0, which they weren't in, to Village. Chris and Claire have not been in the same party. By party, I mean get to be able to play at the same time or around each other or be existing around each other. Literally, there's a scene, it's hilarious, in Code Veronica where Chris is on the other side of a room and Claire's in a room locked in there. And I'm like, why is she crying? Why is she crying over this dude? I know it's hard, but get over Steve Burnside. You just met him, but whatever. I ship Claire and Leon, and I hate the way that Leon treats Claire. If you choose him first, she's all types of thirsty for him. It makes no sense. Literally, like I said, when women are not on the other side, executive producers and stuff, you get garbage like this, and then you get guys talking about, oh, look at these girls just like this, when no, they're not. Y'all make Claire thirsty for no reason when you pick Leon first in RE2 Remake. Just watch. Go. There's a scene where they're outside and they're at the gate. I want you to watch what happens when you play as Claire first, like I did. She's normal. She acts normal. Zombies are happening. Zombies are attacking and all that. But if you play Leon first, or when you play Leon and you get to that point, Claire's like, so how about we go dancing? It's like, Claire, we're dying. There's a dude chasing me. I don't know what to, honestly. And then y'all just gave them the same path. Y'all didn't, like, the whole reason to have two different stories is to get two different paths. Even in Code Veronica, they didn't make Chris do the exact same things that Claire had to do. Exactly. There were some things that were different. And that's what's so great about Resident Evil Code Veronica. It still holds up story-wise, just not graphically. All right, number 7. Don't take out a single creature, from Cerberus to the Gulpworm, Hunters to the Bandersnatchers, to that Scully zombie that came out of the rain. Don't take a single one of those zombies out, honestly. Like, really? Just don't. I don't know what is the big deal with y'all. And it's like, oh, that's too much. Oh, it's too much, you say? Then why do you put the gameplay that we should have got into the downloadable content? Because you just want our money. And just admit that. Just admit that. Come better. Come better with it then. Come better. Because I'm so sick of having to buy a $60 game and then buying another $60 game in the form of a DLC when it should have just been all $60 and then you add actual DLC. Make Mercenaries DLC then, if you want money so bad. Not gameplay. Downloadable content is not gameplay. It's not the main thing. It shouldn't be the missing puzzle piece. There should be no missing puzzle pieces unless you're going to have a sequel in which you put it in the next game. That's how you make games. Number 8, do call DC Douglas for Wesker. Oh my goodness, like, DC Douglas is so cool. He's playing the Resident Evil games on YouTube. Like, right now, he streams. I was, like, in the group chat, but it's just, like, too big. And I left the Discord because it's just, like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, like, a lot of reminders and stuff that pop off. And I'm like, I hate looking at my phone and seeing all these text messages from Discord, so I just left. But there is a Discord. He's inviting anyone to join. They're really cool. They talk about Resident Evil and stuff. DC Douglas is really cool. I'm glad that he's actually interested in the game that he's a part of and that people know him so much from. Like, Alyson Court is the Claire. She may not be the original from, like, the very, very beginning. Maybe not. I don't know. But she's just who Claire is. Like, just like DC Douglas is Albert Wesker, Alyson Court, and Roger Craig Smith, Claire, Chris, respectively. Get them. Just hire them. I really don't care how much they're asking you for. Alyson Court deserves her money's worth. Because y'all play games and act like just because women get older, they can't, like, do anything. But men can be, like, 99 years old and still be the prince of whatever, of Sussex or something. I think that's pretty insane. Pretty insane. Number 9, don't exclude Rodrigo Juan Raval. I thought that dude, I just looked it up. I thought that dude was black. So there's this guy. There's always some ethnic person in Resident Evil games so that you see all this pasty mayo. You see one dot of pepper among all the pasty mayo and salt. So Ada Wong is a returning ethnic person because she's a woman. And people were like, oh, ooh, ah, ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that. Like, she's basically eye candy. No other ethnic person to add seasoning to these Resident Evil games ever made it past their game. For example, Marvin. Marvin dies, yes. Whatever, he dies, so okay, he doesn't make it past his game in RE2. Carlos lives. What's your excuse for Carlos? I only say Billy Cohen because Billy Cohen he had a very interesting character design that made him look different than the white collar Leon or the blue collar Chris Redfield. he actually looked like he had swagger. And I don't consider him ethnic, but I do consider him a character that they were trying to make the spiciness among the mayo. Just, that's one thing. He can be on his own, but Carlos, there's absolutely no excuse why Carlos was never in any other games. Sheva Alomar, Resident Evil 5, y'all straight up she just is gone. So in Resident Evil Code Veronica, Rodrigo, I thought he was black. Because they, like I said, the graphics don't hold up. So he looks black to me, and I didn't really know his name until literally just looking it up right now. I probably remembered it from a long time ago, but I thought he could be Afro-Latino, and that's fine. But Rodrigo, he's another one of those characters that y'all love to put one ethnic character in there, and then that's it. That sounds like, all right, we did our jobs. Whew, that's equal rights right there. My arms are tired from all this equal rights. Got every single pasty mayonnaise pasty person in this game, and then you've got one ethnic person, and they don't even make it they either die or you never see him again. Sheva Alomar didn't die, so where is she? Where'd Carlos go? Rodrigo dies. Spoiler, Rodrigo dies. So we don't see him, we don't see Marvin, because guess what? He dies. Every single character that is ethnic, and it's just like, oh, there's a lot of people, like, you can make the argument that there are white people that die in these games that never make it through. What I'm saying is that doesn't matter. Claire is still a main character. She made it through. She's Anglo-Saxon. Chris made it through. He's Anglo-Saxon. Leon is Anglo-Saxon, made it through. Albert Wesker made it through a very long time. All these people made it through. But even Carlos and Sheva made it through. They didn't die like Marvin and Rodrigo, and they still never got another game. So don't come at me like, oh, you're just looking too deep into, how am I looking too deep into something that's right in my face? Yeah, they just love to add the ethnic person to just say that there's someone ethnic in there. And that's what I'm saying. If they want to actually do something, they need to try harder. And that doesn't mean race switching everybody for the live action. That means adding the characters that we already have. I literally counted 4 or 5 people just now that you can add into the game that would be fine. And I would be fine with. Like, no matter how small Rodrigo's part is, like Marvin's, like I said, he's ethnic. He needs to be portrayed as someone pre-colonialism, okay? I don't want to see no Drake skin tone talking about, yeah, I'm Afro-Latino. Like, no, I'm talking about pre-colonialism, not post-colonialism. Like, y'all always love to get post-colonialism people. Like, maybe, make his story matter before you kill him from the Gulpworm. I didn't expect to play as Sherry in RE2 Remake. So why don't we play as Rodrigo in Resident Evil Code Veronica Remake? Maybe make that a DLC, since y'all love to put gameplay as DLC, like you don't know what DLC stands for. Maybe? But I just have a brain. I just have a functioning brain. Like, it took 2 seconds to think of that. And I didn't even think of it long. So I really don't understand why y'all have all this money at your disposal and you literally just crap in your hand, ball it up with your $100 bills and throw it down the trash. I don't understand why you guys don't have people on your team that sit there and think for 2 seconds about these storylines, about something that can be better. But whatever. Number 10. Do have Nosferatu play a bigger role. Like in Darkside Chronicles, you barely see him in the remakes of all of the Code Veronica releases. You barely see Nosferatu. You see him once when you see him down up in that thing, when he's busted up. You see him in a cutscene, get up and leave, and then you see him when you fight him as a boss, and then he dies. That's all you see him as. And then you get to see Alexander Ashford prior to turning into Nosferatu in Darkside Chronicles, which again, not a lot of people played. It was on Wii. Like, it's a giggling moment. It's giving very much Circus Adam Sandler clown, because no one wants to play Wii. Like, Wii is something that's laughable. You're either playing PlayStation, or you're playing Xbox, or you're playing PC. And even Xbox is becoming laughable because we're not getting anything. We are literally just paying to give them our money. Like, we're paying them to give them our money. There's nothing that we're getting from Xbox that I couldn't get from PlayStation cheaper and with better results. It wouldn't even be cheaper. It would just be, I'm getting what I am buying. Like, honestly, I would consider Nosferatu one of the greatest bosses in canon. He's not OP, okay? You can kill him pretty quickly. I killed him with a knife. It's really easy. You can get whipped off and die from his whipping, or get poisoned. Not a lot of bosses do multiple things. Usually the bosses, y'all love to just make bullet sponges or things that run at you pretty quickly. He's pretty slow because he's tied up still. I think maybe you could even elevate his design and make him actually become mutated. You could do that if you'd like. I'm giving you the okay to do that, but don't make it to where he's just a ball of flesh, where you have to hit him is like blinking so that we know where to shoot. We're not idiots, okay? I would say Nosferatu is the most unique. I don't understand. I would say every single creature in the Resident Evil Code Veronica was the most unique. The Bandersnatchers, this cool, bringing back the hunters from 3, it's awesome. I don't even remember if they were in 2 or not. I don't think so. I really don't think the hunters were in 2. I think they were in 3, but they might be in 2. I think they might have been in 1. I don't know if it's all the incest that adds some zest to the T. Veronica virus, because Alexia, honestly, her powers and from her 3 forms, it was better than William Birkin's. And she actually could speak to you while she was still like mutating. I think that's really cool. And yeah, Birkin said, sure, like he said that, but he was barely there. Alexia was straight up laughing, and she was like getting joy. She was actually there. I would say William Birkin was more T-virus than himself by the end. Alexia seems to have her consciousness throughout the whole time. And if she had her consciousness and she's got the same blood as her father, what if their father actually had some sort of consciousness too? It kind of goes out the window when you go to Dark Side Chronicles, because it seems like he wanted their help by the end, because there's the video, but that video is basically just a retcon to explain why the gun's there and all that, but it wasn't in the original. I really would suggest taking that out from Dark Side Chronicles. I really don't need to see a video of him talking about help my daughter. Like, how do you know that this was going to happen the exact way? What if we ended outside? What if we weren't there to begin with? How did he know that we were going to be there and the gun was going to be there? Like, we should probably get a gun somewhere else, get that gun somewhere else for a different reason. Or if we're going to even have that gun. But yeah, like all of the Ashford creatures, and I was surprised when I first saw this that Alfred didn't turn into anything, and I'm fine with that because he was like little weasel, so I really don't care. I didn't need Irving type like guy coming after me. Like the whole gun fight with the merry-go-round, that was good. That was fun. You know? Keep that in there too. Number 11. Don't be stupid. Don't add stupid stuff that ruins canon. Watch a few YouTube videos about the story if you're lazy, like I said. There's so much potential. Y'all are in limbo at the moment. Like I said prior, this village game will bring people in, but they're not going to stay. They're going to be like, woo, that was fun. Bye now. Mark my words. The game is going to do really well for launch. They're going to think that they have it in the bag, and then a lot of people are going to stop playing it. Then they're going to be confused. Then they're going to get scared. Then they're going to start bringing out that VR crap that no one's going to want because no one cares. No one said they wanted Resident Evil 4 on that. No one... I didn't get no census. I didn't get nothing in the mail that was like, do you want this? Like, how did you get all the data to conform a reality in which people wanted Resident Evil 4 in VR? Who? Like, I have no idea. Like, I'm serving owl because I have no idea who said that they wanted this. Number 12, do elaborate on the puzzles. In my opinion, the puzzles were one of the best in the series in Resident Evil Code Veronica. Not the best, but one of the best. I would say 0 had the best, but y'all aren't ready for that conversation. I would say 4 out of 5. They could have been harder, but most of the challenge, most challenging part of the actual puzzles in Resident Evil Code Veronica was the fact that you had to keep going back and forth and, you know, like, go through this thing and you couldn't have any metal, which means you couldn't have any weapons, which means how are you going to defend yourself? You can't even bring your knife because it's made of metal. You can't go through a certain thing and then there's a bunch of zombies and bandersnatchers and stuff. It was challenging. A lot of people didn't like Resident Evil Code Veronica because they said it was too hard. Now, I finished it by myself. So if I can finish it, it's not hard. And it wasn't on easy. I always start on regular. Number 13, don't cut off sections. Y'all just love to increase the price. The price we have to pay for all these games and game systems, like game accessories to play your stupid games. And you don't give us nothing. You give us nothing except more costs, like DLC to play what you want to play. How on earth did y'all make RE3, an already short game as it is, an afterthought of a game? It's so short that y'all made it even shorter. You took out like 1/3 of the whole game. And it was already 1/3 to begin with. How do you do that? But whatever. 14. Do still include the tyrant. Like I said before, all Resident Evil games have a tyrant, some kind, that follows the character and does stuff. But because Resident Evil Code Veronica is so rich and so enthralled with a bunch of creatures, the tyrant that actually exists is very overshadowed by Alexia. Even Alfred, who's not even mutated into anything, he's a bigger threat to you than the tyrant, because the tyrant kind of just gets pushed out the thing and you don't have to worry about him for a while. He's not really a big problem. Nosferatu is a bigger problem because, yeah, that tyrant's strong and stuff, but he may one-shot you because he's huge, but he's not gonna one-shot you all the time. In addition to that, he doesn't poison you. There are moths that literally implant eggs in your back and you see them come out of your back. If you don't take care of them, you die. It's hilarious. Number 15. Don't do Alexia's form like you did Nemesis. Her forms weren't piles of unidentifiable flesh with some teeth in it, okay? All RE bosses have weak points, but don't make like her penis glow, all right? If, heaven forbid, players have to die a few times to get the mechanics, honestly, y'all love to just make things so super easy for these upcoming gamers. Like, we know that there's certain spots that we have to shoot. You don't have to make it glow and blink and actually have signs that say shoot here if it's not on easy. There really is no reason. And like I said, don't make her penis glow. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you've played Resident Evil Code Veronica, she's got a penis. Like, it comes out and you got to shoot at it in her, like, I don't know what form it is. I can't remember. I think it's second form. I'm pretty sure it's second form. And then the last form, she looks like a dragonfly. And she still looks like she has a penis. She flicks it and fire comes out of it. It's hilarious. Side note on her forms, William Birkin may have like a lot of forms and all that, and he's remembered more because y'all keep talking about him and doing stuff, and you even shoehorned him in Zero. But honestly, Alexia, he can't hold a candle to Alexia. He can't hold nothing to Alexia because she just set it ablaze. Like, she set it ablaze. And her themes, she's got a different theme for each form. And it's like opera song. It's like, it's amazing. So don't take that out either. But I'm done with that. 16. Do add more scenes or memories or videos of the real Alexia. What was done to her is really sad. And I feel like she was brainwashed, like in this Anglo-Saxon cult, to basically be abused her whole life and stuck in some catatonic state. They hint at her feelings in Dark Side Chronicles, but it's only one scene. It's like 2 seconds. She's like, "Oh, father." Because, of course, he's the one that made her do all this. She was a child. How does she have consent to be like, yeah, let me be this test subject? Like, nah, you're not going to sell it to me. 17. Don't add extra characters. There's enough in Code Veronica. It's pretty loaded with people. Like I said, Rodrigo, like, he can have a couple chapters. The map is plentiful of objectives. He could do things. He could, like, I don't know. Get it together. I don't make games, but I have ideas. Consult fans, honestly. That's all I ask of you, is to consult fans, and not those fanny fans that are going to say, yeah, Clegane Bowl and stuff like that. Things that don't add anything to the plots. Like, don't talk to fans that have no idea what they're talking about. 18. Do bring back the timed minigames with Claire, Chris, and Wesker. Like, they're doing Mercenaries in Village. It's basically like Mercenaries. Just bring back that in the game as well. 19, don't dumb down obstacles. Like the replicator objective with the metal. Give it to us. Straight up, give it to us. People say this is the hardest game. Make them understand why people say it's the hardest game. Make us suffer. 20, do keep Chris in the game. Make his story more desirable. It's basically backtracking with the hunters chasing you. Kind of. It's not as much backtracking as it is a kind of a different experience, because you have the different enemies that come at you. I don't think he deals with the Bandersnatchers at all, and I don't think he deals with the Tyrant. Claire gets it a whole lot worse, because she especially has to fight Steve Burnside too. I think she does that alone. I think in Dark Side Chronicles, Chris was helping, but I think canonly she does it by herself. And it's kind of gross. It's horrible. But yeah, make Chris's side more desirable. It's not desirable as it stands right now. It's not something that I look forward to doing. Like, I think Claire's side story was a lot better than Chris's. Claire's was way better. And it's maybe just because she's the first person you play as, but I feel like her story is so much better. Her side is so much better. Just like her side's so much better when you play her first. It's supposed to go Claire Leon for Resident Evil 2. That's her game. Forget all of y'all who say, oh, this is actually Leon's game. It's Claire's game, but you can go off. If you want to play a Leon game, play bootleg, boo-boo, good for nothing, Resident Evil 4, because that's his game. 21, don't pull a Code Veronica X and show Wesker, then hide his face like we don't know who he is. So they did that. They re-released this game like 6 times. I don't know what it's called when they do that, but it wasn't even, I don't even know if it was remastered. I think it was just on a different engine. And they added some scenes and took away some scenes. And it's just strange how they did that, because they're like, oh, here's Wesker, but then they're trying to obscure his face when you play as Chris because they're enemies and stuff. But it's just like, We know this. We already know this. If you're gonna do that, you have to go one route or the other. You cannot go both routes. You just can't. 22. Do give us a complete game. I don't care what outfits or guns you want to sell to me, but leave DLC for DLC, not Resident Evil Code Veronica Part 2, okay? I don't want to have to pay for Chris's side story. Because if I do, we're throwing hands in here. 23. Don't shorten the game up like you did for Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. It's long and proud of it. This is one of the longest games. And it doesn't even have anything to do with the fact that you play as Chris and Claire. But the simple fact that there are so many places. There's an underwater facility. There's an underground facility. There's an Arctic facility. There's so many places that you go, and you can go in a submarine and still go back to where you were. It's amazing. There's a house. There's a main house. There's a back house. There's so many things. Like, so many places you can go. There's a prison. Like, we should be able to play as Claire, as Chris, and as Rodrigo. Because he dies anyway. Might as well. Y'all had us playing as Sherry. Y'all had not being able to do nothing. I'm telling you, if I was a kid and I'm not going to sit there and just cry. I'm going to get a knife. I'm going to stab somebody. Honestly, I'm not about to just sit there and cry. 24. Do try and get Alyson Court, Roger Craig Smith, and DC Douglas. Like I said prior, I don't care how much they ask for. I don't care how much they ask for. I really don't, because they earn it. They earned it. Y'all are going to get a lot of money for this. Y'all can afford to pay these people. Get these people. I don't care how much they ask for. I really don't. Just want to hear Roger Craig Smith be able to be Chris again, because you got this loser. I don't know who he is. I really don't care, and I haven't looked. Playing him in Village, and it's just okay, so not only are you guys not going to be consistent with drawing that you can literally drawing, you can copy and paste from other games, y'all cannot have a consistent visual. You're not even going to have a consistent voice acting. I think that's pretty interesting. They don't even try. It's like I said a long time ago in one of my videos. If the assignment is Mickey Mouse, you're not going to go in there sounding like Scooby-Doo. It's just not what we do. It's just not factual to the reference point. Makes no sense. Just do it. It's the assignment. The assignment is to be Chris. The assignment isn't to be your rendition of Chris. Your assignment is to be Chris Redfield. So supposedly they have the dude that played Carlos also playing Chris. No, that's just a slap in Roger Craig Smith's face. Did y'all leave on bad terms? I really don't understand why you would get Carlos. And then it's jarring enough that you got Carlos to play that dude from Telltale's The Walking Dead. But now all three of them have the same voice. You best be joking. I thought it was laughable when I saw Roger Craig Smith playing Batman. Because I'm like, come on, dude. Your strengths are Mirage. Your strengths are Chris Redfield. I really don't know why they didn't call him back. Honestly, it's one thing to be. It's just like I said, your strengths. There's this dude who plays a lot of people he does the same voice. In Skyrim, he's like, I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. He's in literally every single animated feature in history. It's like a run-on joke, actually, that he keeps doing that, because he literally doesn't sound any different than any other character he's ever played. You got those people that sound just like what they sound like when they talk, and they don't change nothing, they don't try. And then you've got the voice actors that can sound like trains and then just talk like crazy. It's one person, I don't know his name, but he's in the Avatar: The Last Airbender. He plays Appa and Momo. It's just he make those noises. You can't tell the difference. When you can't tell the difference, it doesn't mean you're a bad voice actor. It just means play to your strengths. This is y'all are literally setting this boy up for failure. Get it together, all of y'all. And I hate to hear Wesker now, because I really don't know if you guys are going to get him. You should. He's really good. I really think that he deserves all the accolades for being in everything he's ever been. DC Douglas is so cool. I follow him on Instagram, and I followed him on Twitter before his thing got suspended. Hopefully he gets to come back on Twitter, because he's a good ally. When I see like white people and some with their false allyships, it makes me sick. Just like Sharon Osbourne with the whole false allyship. She may have been ghetto and ridiculous, but she's not an ally. She was never an ally. She still thinks she's above everyone else just because she's white. Even in all her disgustingness and her family's disgustingness, she still thinks she's superior. But people like DC Douglas, he actually uses his platform to speak out against racism, bigotry, and even the patriarchy. He says some jokes, and it's just like, they're jokes. I don't find them offensive. When things are offensive, it's not funny. I don't understand how many times I have to say that before it gets to quarter of a man's thick skull. But whatever. Number 25, the last one. Don't waste my time or we riot. Don't waste my time. I would like this game. It'd be really nice to have this game. But I'm telling you, if I get a whiff that this game has been dropped, the ball was dropped on this game, we riot. That's just what it is. We're at our pushing point. There's so many things going on that it's just like riot. Like you're not going to get a cent anymore. A cent, not a single cent. Y'all are going to go out of business. It's going to be like Telltale all over again. Y'all are going to be begging people to be working at your job. Y'all are going to be begging people to be coming in there and help you work on the game and movie and all that. Y'all just be counting your days, honestly. Like this internal darkness crap, it better not be garbage. And y'all better not be thinking about making a remake to RE4 before y'all even look at Resident Evil Code Veronica, because Code Veronica has context and it's Claire's game. And it's crazy how y'all just like to skip over the girls' games. Like, yeah, y'all did Jill, but you also made it seem like Jill and Carlos were equal, when in actuality, the situation was, it was Jill's game, and then you took Jill's gameplay and made Carlos do some of it, rather than just making Carlos have his own identity. Y'all literally took things that Jill did in the past and made Carlos do it. But whatever. I'm done. Like, subscribe. My Resident Evil playlist is down below. Let's have a conversation about it. What did you like about the showcase? Are you excited about 25 years? Do you think that they're going to make Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, or do you think they're done because, oh, well, we can't do it because this, that, the other? It seems like while they're making the games continue in the same storyline, they're straight up just ignoring what's going on. They really don't care. They have that merchant dude sitting on the bed, that's the Duke of Pasties or whatever he is, eating cake and whatnot, because they're trying to emulate Resident Evil 4 with the merchant dude. What are you buying? Like, honestly, like I said, they should have just brought him back instead of bringing this big old fat dude that we don't know. But whatever. I'm really done. I'm done speaking about it. I'm just so passionate about this. I really want DC Douglas to play Wesker forever, really forever, like until he wants to like stop voice acting, and he's not doing it right now. So I really don't see the problem with getting him. I don't see the problem with getting Alyson Court, and I really don't see the problem with getting that Mercer guy to play Mercier, whatever his name is, to play as Leon. Roger Craig Smith needs to be Chris. Like, they're all here, they're still here. Like, I really don't understand why y'all just skipping over them. Y'all just really want to spend $2 on people that don't bring the bacon. They just don't work. Y'all just want to, when it's cheaper, you get cheap results. And we're not going to pay for something that's cheap for the same exact price as if it weren't cheap. Sorry, not going to happen.